The idea of my project, this film, is to invite you to take part in filming your own world that you have been trapped or under siege in for some time. And I'd like to explore the colours in your world and in my world and show you a few ideas of how to make that world a bit bigger and a bit more exciting in terms of what colours can you discover that you're living with and you perhaps hadn't noticed or been actually creatively engaged with. One of the projects that we will be exploring and hopefully working with some of you at the end of this project later in the summer involves this box over here. Which I hope will be some beautiful coloured silks that some of you might want to come and dance with. And we've got plans and ideas to tempt you with, and indeed it's very much the colour theme for this short video. Okay, I'm going to start with some yellow. If, like me, you're pretty technophobic and very camera shy, hope you'll find simple ways of holding your phone in somewhere fixed so that you can just have it focused on a space like a tabletop, and you don't have to be in it, but maybe your hands and what you're making can be. So that's very simple. Candle wax and some Brusho ink, beautiful. So I had a hunt round the house. I found some yellowish objects. In the morning the sun shines through my favourite curtains, yellow curtains. I looked at some paintings, and of course there's yellow sunflowers done by Van Gogh, but Van Gogh wasn't the only painter who fell in love with a field of sunflowers during some very dark days. The artist Emil Nold, who I think was Dutch, he also did some beautiful images. There's actually very little yellow in this picture, but because there is this contrast of dark and light, the yellow really glows. I'm thinking about one of the things during lockdown I've enjoyed is making cards for people and sending them. Postmans have been wonderful and rather overworked, but lots of people have sent letters and cards to people that they've never done so before, and it's been hard to get out to a shop and buy a ready-made card. So you don't have to be an artist to make something which gives enormous pleasure for someone to receive. So I'm just playing with some very simple materials. I've got some oil crayon, I've got my lemons, and I've got my yellow pepper, and I've got felt tips. I'm just going to play with it. I love the shape of this paintbrush. I've got just some ready mix. Be very playful and use the shape of that. See what that does. I like the seeds in the middle of my flower, like that. Just want to finish off by introducing you to one of my lockdown madnesses, which was to hatch 2 ducklings from some duck eggs I bought in Waitrose a few weeks ago. This is Jemima Cuddle Duck. She's also yellow. Let's see if she can paint with. I could make her walk in the yellow paint, and then I put her in the paddling pool. She quite likes that, I think. Yes. And a good old peck at those crayons. So thank you, Jemima. I think we've got an okay from that one. Our next colour, or colours, is about green, or greens. Never just one green, is there? There's so many different greens. Immerse yourself in a world of growing, breathing, natural organisms. I looked round the house and in the fridge found some old broccoli. Decided I'd make a little bit of a fantasy landscape. See if I could make it into a little drawing. Very useful high-tech pilot point, No.5. All very vague. I'll do a pen and wash on that one. Water-soluble pen. And I can add some colour. Could use felt tip. This reminds me of an oak tree. A broccoli oak tree. The mustard cress we've been growing so that we don't need to go out and get fresh salad every day, because that's something that's quite hard to get. And the Playmobil horse. Left over from the children when they were at home. Doesn't take much really. Not a very good thing, but nice to do, playful, easy to do again. No such thing as making a mistake here. The green man is one of our oldest folk symbols. Could have been a green woman or a green man or a green anyone. It's just a reflection of ourselves if we watch for long enough, and is found throughout architecture and ancient art throughout Europe. This beautiful example of green man or disgorging man in wood can be found in Winchester Cathedral. Leaves I found on walks. This is poplar leaves attacked by leaf mite, which make beautiful collage materials. Sometimes I will do a little bit of writing on birch bark paper. It actually takes a piece of ink, a pen and ink very well. And I press a lot of lichen and things like this and use them for cards. And last year's Christmas card used some of this lichen to make a Christmas card for my 2-year-old granddaughter. I think she liked it. And in this I'm going to use some already pressed leaves to print with. Got some chestnut, sweet chestnut. And that means, yeah?
Bye-bye.
This is System 3 acrylics with a roller, which makes very good printing ink if you can spare it. In our wardrobes, there are colours, all sorts of colours. In our wardrobe or in our drawers, there's a lot of blue t-shirts, different kinds of blue. You go and have a look and see what's in your wardrobe. What colours do you feel comfortable in? What colours do you like to show off in? Blue shows the time of day. Colour of the sky changes from very, very pale, like it's light morning now, very blue sky, beginning of a really hot day. So I play with some clouds and sky of my own. I love the foam in the bath. Favourite is this little teapot. It's a lovely shape. These are pieces I found on a beach, and I started drawing one of them with a blue biro, which actually can make quite a good drawing. One of the very favourite objects in my house is a jug my mother gave me of recycled Mexican glass that lends itself to a very painterly object. Very beautiful. I'd try and save that from a fire, I think, because I've got a bit of old oil paint, and just dilute it with turpentine and a little baby oil, actually. Purple is a secondary colour. That means it's a mixture of two primary colours, blue and crimson. Juicy blackberries. Beautiful shades of purple that came from seashells farmed in the Mediterranean. And this substance was more precious than gold. As you can see, these precious granules come from a market in Tunisia or Morocco, I can't remember. And it slowly dissolves, making a really rich colour. Colour in history and fabrics was hierarchical throughout every culture. Particular colours were worn by particular levels of society to mark out how wealthy they were. It was like having a social uniform. That's rather beautiful. And I found some purple leaves, purplish, and we're going to do some very therapeutic bashing with these. This is the fun bit. The colour orange is also a secondary colour. It's made of yellow and crimson. These nasturtium flowers, which have been delightful this year. And a favourite photograph. First time I held our only grandchild, my only granddaughter, who was just 5 days old, dressed in this very orange modern baby grow. That was a moment that I still miss, especially as we haven't been able to see her very much. And of course, for the older ones of us will remember Penguin books. This orange on the cover distinguished it from the other editions because these were novels. And send that in. You don't have to write the novel. I've just started one here. 2 Go Mad in Lockdown. Private journals. This is a very crude idea. I thought I would show you a different kind of material, which are these soft, chalky pastels. Very beautiful colours, very inexpensive. And they show up beautifully on darker paper. That concludes our explorations of colour around the house, garden. We'd love you to send in your own, just a couple of minutes long, or a card that you've made, a postcard or a novel cover.